You try and lift the boat with the forestay on.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Can't hear. There's too much crane noise. Can't hear anything.
You look at our team, and when the pressure's on, in general, we're laughing and having a joke.
We are awesome. I wake up in the morning and I excellence.
Yeah, it is the Australian culture. I think we use humour as a way to sort of break tension.
Oh, jeez.
Really?
I know. Get out of the candy shop, you.
Our love language is actually insulting each other. I know that might sound strange.
Try and lift the wing with the forestay.
You dead.
We'll call each other, you know, I can't swear, can I?
Yeah, you.
Oh, we call each other, you know, heads and you know, and.
I think having a bit of banter with everyone makes it a friendlier environment and takes a bit of stress off everyone as well.
Give us a smile then. Yeah, that's scary.
Our fabulous, fearless leader, Tom Slingsby, gets a little passionate on board. So we brought in the swear jar as a way to rein in Tom Slingsby. He has to put in cash every time he swears.
We live and we learn, Thomas.
We're all in this together,
I think 125 is too much.
No, you're rich. Sorry.
Oh, it's going to actually just put the wallet in.
Drop the cards in.
That's more realistic.
Is it the black habit? Yeah. He gave us $130.
Tom.
Tom.
And how much per swear word?
So it ranges. There's like different scales based on the swear word.
Oh, yeah, is a better word. It doesn't cost you anything.
With Tom, we can say anything and you know, critique him, and he can critique us, and it's fine because we know we all have our best interests for each other and the team. Whereas I think maybe other teams, you can sense there's a strong personality and that everyone's scared of them. Whereas a Tom, like, once he gets it out and you sit down, he's sort of really welcoming to discussion and improving.
What's happened to the Aussies in the last few hours? Day 2 here in Dubai, and they look completely refreshed. They've already won a race, and if they do well in this next race, they might even make it to the final.
But let's see, because we are into the start, and it's Spain slinging it like a red rocket. Australia in the middle of the pack.
Australia is in 5th, so they've got some work to do if they want to make that final. But interestingly, Australia is the first to jibe away from the fleet. And when I see that, I think high-risk strategy.
Pretty much have to win this, and you go to the other side? Mr. Tom Slingsby, you have a lot of courage, my friend. A lot of courage.
It's Aussie culture. It's sort of like, how tough are you? We're from the land down under. We got all the dangerous animals in the world, and we sort of feel like we fight against the odds a lot of the time.
Come on, boys. Come on.
And the Aussies finished the last race with enough points to make it into the final.
I can't believe it. If you'd told me an hour ago, I'd have just said there's absolutely no way. I did say that. The Aussies will be fighting in the final now against Ben Ainsley, who's been the best driver so far this weekend. My money's with Sir Ben.
You can't believe anything that I say. But honestly, Stevie, if you say Sir Ben one more time, like, I don't know what I'll do.
Well, trouble is, where we come from over here, we've got standards, and he has been given the knighthood, so I've got to stick with the name. It wasn't my choice, it was Queen Elizabeth. Well, it's hard not to have a bit of allegiance to the home team. Not as bad as you, though, with your Australia loving.
I have objectivity, but also I think that Tom, just like, you always write him off, but he always comes good. And proving everyone wrong, and especially you, Stevie, so I think he'll be fired up to prove you wrong.
If I can fire up Tom, that's fine, but here we go. So Ben's going to do it.
Okay.
Going to bring it home.
Dinner's on the line, then.
Leg 4 in the Dubai Sail Grand Prix final. France has been dominated from the start, but Ben Ainsley and Tom Slingsby have not given up yet.
It looked like the French were going to run away with the victory.
I think when the chips are against us, Aussie fighting spirit can really come through. I just love that mentality of who's tougher.
The Aussies are coming down the line like a bullet train. GBR's coming with everything too. 3 boats on collision course. Big big manoeuvre for the Australians. He's got to spin it in front of the French. Great Britain's going to be on the inside. This is going to go down to the wire here.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on.
It is really tight indeed as they all get together.
And around the outside, it's Australia.
From third to first, Great Britain takes the lead on leg 6 of 7.
Oh, my Lord.
You are kidding me.
What a move by Ainsley, and it's now a battle between Ainsley and Slingsby for the title here in Dubai.
Only one more gate before the finish line, and Ben Ainsley leads with 1 boat margin.
Come on.
You know, it looked like the British were going to win. All they needed to do was one manoeuvre and they were going to win the event.
Australia's going for the double jibe. Is Ben Ainsley going to protect the inside?
Oh, we just heard Ben calling for the double jibe as well.
But it looks like there's a miscommunication on board GBR's boat. The grinder doesn't know where to go.
Matt didn't hear the call properly, and so we jibed, but we had no grinder. And so, well, I wasn't able to pull the wing sheet up to keep the boat platform flat.
Oh no, unthinkable. Tom is overtaking Ben Ainsley.
Come on, boys.
And the Aussies crossed the finish line first. From rags to riches, how can a team transform the worst performing event into an epic win? I just don't know.
Never in doubt, man. Awesome.
How's he doing this?
Oh, I don't know. I think he did it to annoy me, Todd. It was about 15 minutes ago, and I said he wasn't even going to be, should be trying to get a sixth out of the event.
Here in Singapore, how do you even start a wheel report? We do struggle a little bit in the lights, so see if we can pull one out of the bag, I guess.
Another one. Real bad for the camera. Now the Aussies, they're still leading overall, but they've got a bit of a difficult weekend ahead of them. They're missing King Kyle. They're missing their wing trimmer who's injured.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kyle sounds like he's bulged a disc in his back. So Howie's our reserve. He's going to get a couple of days of practice and he'll be filling in on wing.
Well, the Australian team has arrived in Singapore without 2 of their very best crew members. As well as Kyle's absence, Tosh Bryant is going to take Nina Curtis's place, who is pregnant. Huge responsibility ahead for Tosh, replacing one of the best in the world.
Well, the question for today's testing day is, does Tom Slingsby have enough depth in the roster to put together a winning team? From what I'm seeing in practice today, I've got to be honest, I've got my doubts. We're seeing bad starts again.
And Stevie, they are consistently at the back of the pack. If the Aussies want a fighting chance against New Zealand here in Singapore, this new team formation will have to adapt to one another really fast because racing starts in less than 24 hours.
What happened there?
We had a tough day in qualifying and we made a lot of mistakes. The strength of our team is keeping it together, using the strengths of everyone in our team.
We should get a little bit more practice time than we did yesterday.
We debriefed it last night and we're very open and honest with ourselves.
I'll try to paint the picture as well as I can, but when I'm in the moment, sometimes I've got like little tells that I'm gonna say stand by. And whether you go before or
after, generally when we do that, we certainly find a belief that we can turn it around.
It's the last fleet race before the final, and Australia look like a completely different team. Somehow, Ed Powis and Tash Bryant have got up to speed in record time.
And look at that, Stevie. I have been blown away by the amount of trust that Tom Slingsby has put on Tosh Bryant. 3 years ago, Tosh was part of the Inspire program in Sydney. She's now racing on board an F50 with one of the best teams.
Today, all our practice was done with 4 up, and then all of a sudden the wind filled in. So we said, Tash, like, you're going to be steering out all the manoeuvres without any practice. And she said, yeah, let me have a go at it.
The first time I jumped on the helm, I didn't really have time to think about it. Tom was like, here you go, Tash, do you want to drive? And we were reaching in pretty quickly. I didn't have time to think about, oh no, what am I doing? I just grabbed the wheel and we were off. I didn't overthink anything. It just was happening so quickly that I just went with it.
And it's Australia. With 2 replacements in the team, they make it into the final with Denmark and New Zealand.
Yes, Tom! How good is that?
really easy to underestimate just how difficult what the Australians have just done. Only a chosen few can qualify without their regular crew. 20 seconds before the start of the final in Singapore, and Slingsby wants the pin end at the top of the screen.
We knew that pin end was going to be the best place to be, and that's where we wanted to go. But then Denmark decided to take us up the line.
Nikolai Sejersted is not having it. The Danish are pushing Australia from the fastest side of the course. This is still a really close start.
We knew that whoever got off the pin end of the line was going to be hard to beat.
New Zealand is first, dominating the start and mark #1. Australia needs something different now. They have to take their chances.
Oh, that was close.
We made a few mistakes trying to push and do an early jibe, and we just didn't execute.
Oh, they've missed the manoeuvre. They've missed it. Bad manoeuvre on board Australia. That's meters out the window.
They sort of had no choice except to follow the leader. He couldn't play high risk because there was no risk to be played. He just sort of had to watch New Zealand sail away with the wind.
Good stuff, team.
So it's a 3-3 Grand Prix draw now between New Zealand and Australia. The two teams at the top of the leaderboard getting even closer.
Well, I'm sure this defeat's going to sting Australia, but you've got to have a feeling that Tom Slingsby's really going to be leaving Singapore pretty happy. He's going to feel good having given time to Ed and Tash. He's just building a stronger squad.
Tash just had her 22nd birthday, and she's sailing 49ers, foiling every type of boat, and she's been with us now for nearly a year, and she's a real talent, so watch for her in the future.
I think it's hard for someone like Tash to come into a team that's so well formed, and she's trying to prove that she deserves to be there and wants to do the best job possible for her, for her country, for, you know, all the girls out there that are watching her as well. So I'm not surprised that she was a bit overcome with emotion at the end of the final.
We knew it was going to be hard, but if we were foiling in and out the manoeuvres, I think we did well.
I'm really proud of you. Give me a little cuddle. Proud of you.
It was hard.
I love sailing with these guys and girls. I love hanging around with them. Our team just has such a great atmosphere around it.
Couldn't think of a better bunch of people to spend my birthday with, so.
For me, it's a pride thing for our country, for Australia. I want to see Australia known as the top sailing nation in the world, and so if ever I don't get motivated personally, I've always got that. I never want to see Australia drop down the standings.
Australia has such like a rich history of not only sailing, but sailing at the top level. And I think what we want to do is just make sure we're leaving it in a really good spot for future generations to come, and also set the bar high for them.
I honestly believe SailGP will still be here in 20 years and getting stronger and stronger, and I hope that it's going to be that the Australian team are the best team to ever do it, and maybe they'll look back at our era and say those guys were the top guys out there, and I don't know, they were the best team that's ever raced.
That's sick.
We're literally going like point.
Only echo.
Nothing could ever